gonna lean back, bend him all the way down to a walk, and I'll wait for him because he's got his focus, again, still on the mares, and that's okay. Now I'm just gonna drop my left leg back and we'll canter out right lead. Good boy. And you could tell he didn't really want to pick up that lead because we were going away from his girls. Oh, look at that. So he came down better this time to the right. So we'll bend him to a walk. That's the speed that I desire. Now I'll sit on my right butt cheek, right leg back, and there's our left lead. So these reverse drop to a trot changes of leads will also help you with those different canter transitions, whether it's from the walk to canter, trot to canter, a back up to a canter. So now that we have this horse warmed up, we're going to go ahead and work on our move basics. So we're going to start by asking him for a whoa, and we're going to go up his neck with a pre-signal. Whoa. And you can see that he stopped long before I ever had to pull on him, and he backed up off the bridle. That's exactly what I want. I also want to make a comment that we're riding him in a full cheek snaffle. So you don't need a leverage bit to have power brakes. So that was a 360 over the hocks. And if he wants to trot, that's fine. He's telling me that he's ready to go to work and he's ready to listen. So if he doesn't have enough energy and wants to stay at the canter, that's okay. Now we'll whoa again. Whoa. Now we'll ask him to back. Now we'll do a roll away. So we'll put our left leg back and send him out. And the idea is you want to drive your horse through the maneuver, not pull him with your reins. So let's do another 360. Whoa. Now we'll put our left leg to him and out. Today we're going to work on some of our move basics with this horse, Ibn Jalam. And we're going to start out with a simple turn on the forehand. Now we're going to simplify it for him. We're just going to start by bumping his nose around to the left, and I'm going to drop my left leg back. And this is just a one rein, one leg move right now. So this is called a basic turn on the forehand. And all we're trying to get this horse to do is step his left hind foot around his right hind foot. And as he starts to get a little softer with stepping that foot around, I'm just going to slowly pick up my right rein until he steps around that left front foot, and then we'll let him out. And you can see how relaxed he is. He's licking his lips. He's got a very relaxed expression on his face, and that's exactly what we want. So now we're going to do a turn on the forehand right. So we'll bump his nose right, push with our right foot back towards the hind cinch. And again, all we want him to do is step his right hind foot around the left front foot at this point. And even if he bows his shoulders out a little bit to the left, that's okay. We can see him starting to tighten up that turn on his own, and he's planting that right hind foot. Now we're going to pick up this left rein, and that's going to give us our turn on the forehand. And you can see him trying to leg yield out. So our turn on the forehand is also the start of our side pass. So we can see how nicely he came out of that. So let's go back to the other side. So we're going to tip his nose to the left leg back. Just get him stepping around. Now we'll open that right rein and then see how he steps sideways. So this is just to get your horse started with leg yielding and lateral moves. So now we're going to go back to the right again, and we're going to see if we can get this horse to back up on a nice loose rein. So we get him stepping around. Now we're going to switch directions, bump his nose left leg back, get those hind feet stepping around, switch directions, tip his nose right, drop that right leg back, get those hind feet stepping around. Now we're going to switch to the left rein, and we're going to get him a little bit away from the camera. Here he's getting a little close over there. Very friendly horse. He likes people. So we'll step his hind feet around his front feet. Now go back to the right, tip his nose right leg back. Now we'll tip his nose left leg back. And see how he starts to come backwards, very soft. Since we're using the weight of our reins to teach this horse, so we can stay softer in the bit, we want to make sure we're always trying to utilize that. Notice how I just picked up my hand and rocked my reins and this horse came backwards. I didn't have to put any leg on him. I didn't have to pull back on him. So he understands to move with the weight of these reins. If I want him to speed up going backwards, I just put a little leg on him, and that would give us our speed going back.
Now we're going to start some natural flying lead changes with this horse. As the rider canters around, you can see her elbows moving back and forth, rocking her hands with the horse's movement. She's sitting on her left jean pocket and bumping the horse's nose to the inside. As she goes across, she'll shift her weight right and then let that horse go off to the new lead. Now as she gallops around, again, notice her hands following the horse's head and neck. She's going to rate the horse a little bit right here around this turn so he doesn't blow his hind lead before ready for the change. Notice how dramatic the rider is sitting on her right jean pocket and guiding the horse's nose left. If you have a horse that's very handy like this stallion happens to be, you've got to be very precise with how you sit on him. So now we're going to go across for the change. As we start across to the new direction, we're going to stand up in our left stirrup and free up the right side of the horse for that beautiful change right there. As the rider goes across the pen, she'll hold him with her right leg to keep him from just diving into the corner on the lead change. Next, we're going to start our over the hock maneuvers. We're going to start with a roll back. So we're going to whoa the horse, so the rider releases her hands forward, tells him whoa, bumps his nose to the left, sits on that right jean pocket, and shoots him out. Notice how quietly the rider asks the horse to stop. This horse has a tendency to get a little quick on his stop, so we try to ask him quiet and calm. Next, we're going to see a 360. The rider's going to bump her horse's nose to the right, sit on her left jean pocket, and then drop him and let him out. Now, this is our canter spin right here, so we get 3 canter strides, then out. Now we're going to see an inside roll out to opposite lead. The horse blew through the rider on the stop, so she did a little sawing motion at the end. Now we're going to see another 360. So as the rider whoas the horse, she'll sit on her right jean pocket, bump his nose to the left, and then drop him and let him out. And look at how quick he can get. Next, we're going to ask this horse for a same lead roll. So the rider was cantering left lead. She whoa the horse, jumped him out left, and came out on left lead. Now watch how dramatic she sits on her right jean pocket and sits back and away from the turn. And it allows this horse to move a lot easier since she's not interfering. Same lead rolls are a great exercise to work with your horse. It keeps their shoulders elevated and it reminds them to plant their hocks. Since they're anticipating a turn, they should be light in the bridle. Now we'll start to see this horse sit down a little harder, try a little harder. Again, he's got a tendency to overreact a little bit on his stops. Now watch the rider work that right rein just a little bit more coming into that stop, getting this horse ready for a big grand finale stop. Again, look at how quiet the rider's hands are. And this horse changed leads, bounced on the forehand a little. Now again, watch this right hand on this stop. So as she brings the right hand slightly across his neck, it tips his nose to the inside and puts his hocks down in the ground. Now we're going to ask for a crossover or a trotting spin. So at this stage, we're asking the horse to cross the left front foot over the right front foot. And the rider bows the horse out to remind him to stay off his inside shoulder. So here again, our left leg's at the girth. We're bumping the horse's nose left. As he feels like he wants to step that right front over the left front, we're going to release that inside leg and just let that horse step around. And she's being very dramatic at first, so this horse really understands these cues. Now we're going to take a look at a balanced stop in slow motion. As the horse gallops forward, as his right front foot strikes the ground, the rider's hands are in a downward position. This is where the rider whoas the horse, releases the reins, and starts that checking rhythm. Now if you notice, there's a lot of slack in the rein, and that rider is just rocking those reins, rocking that horse to a balanced stop. This is an excellent example of feel.